What up? My name is Jose Eduardo. This is General Yams. So, in this series, I'm gonna go ahead and build Lego sets, the architecture Lego sets, while I am drinking a very nice bottle of wine. Nice in the aspect that it just gets me drunk. This is the Norton Reserve Malbec 2016. Really nice. That's basically all I'm gonna be doing is just drinking some wine, which I've already started, and kind of building these Lego sets, kind of going over some fun facts, history of what I'm building, so that way I have something to talk about and you guys are just looking at me. All right, so I'm gonna try something out. So, because I don't want to get distracted and I don't want to use many cameras, I guess, I only have my phone. Hopefully I can figure everything out and start building as I'm talking and kind of build a script of sorts. So I'm just gonna be cutting in and out of everything. I hope you guys don't mind. I will be drunk though while I'm building this, so perhaps I don't know what would be better, time lapse or normal. Second building video, we'll figure it out when you guys tell me how this video ends up being like. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Well, actually, this isn't the end of the video, so let's go. Let's get right to building. A little background as to what I'm going to be building today. It is the San Francisco set. Alright, so kind of background of what San Antonio... So kind of like a background as to how San Francisco was started, and San Francisco was a Spanish mission and later on Mexican pueblo until it was conquered by the United States in 1846 and also by an invading army of prospectors who had gone out to California and the general west area of the United States in search of gold, because of the gold and everything like that. Sorry, I've started burping, so. So in 1821, Mexico won its independence from Spain, cementing the decline of the mission era. In 1835, an American named William Richardson became the first permanent resident of Yerba Buena. So Yerba Buena was actually the original name of San Francisco back in 1847. That's when it was changed. It became the central port and depot for the frenzied gold rush, caused a lot of people to move outwards, manifest destiny, etc. Over the next year, arriving 49ers increased the city's population from like 1,000 to 25,000, and it just kept escalating. The city was lawless and wild. Construction of the Central Pacific Railroad, funded by the four businessmen Charles Crocker, Mark Hopkins, and Collis P. Huntington, and Leland Stanford, drew thousands of laborers from China. Although many were later forced to leave by exclusionary U.S. policy, San Francisco's thriving Chinatown quickly became one of the largest Chinese settlements outside of Asia. By the 1840s, though, dozens of more Americans came to Alta California and began agitating for independence. After a briefly declared California Republic, they welcomed the arrival of James B. Montgomery, a U.S. Navy captain who came ashore on July 9th, 1846, to raise the U.S. flag, which is today could be found at Portsmouth Square. Now it's time for some wine. Just give me like 2 seconds while I try and open up this bottle. Yeah. Alright, so then the 1906 earthquake happened, and although it destroyed a whole bunch of the city, I didn't really stop it from, developing and becoming great. It actually gave them like a newer opportunity to go ahead and grow and, what it is today. The San Andreas Fault slipped more than 10 feet, unleashing a massive earthquake. Later, it was estimated it was like 7.8 on the Richter scale. The tremors broke water mains, triggered fires, that raged for more than 4 days, killing thousands of people and leaving like around, was it 250,000, that were homeless now because of everything that had happened. The city was rebuilt really quickly with an improved city center. San Francisco was the main point of embarkation for the World War II Pacific Theater, and the region became a major arms production center. After Pearl Harbor, the city's Japanese residents were forced into camps far inland. Their abandoned neighborhoods soon filled with African Americans arriving from South to work in the war industries. The city also played a key role in the transition of World War II to the Cold War, hosting the 1945 conference at which the UN Charter was drafted, and continuing to draw workers to develop technologies for the nuclear age. Another fun fact, or at least commonly known fact, San Francisco has always maintained this kind of reputation of being very civil rightsy and kind of a cultural epicenter of everything. It welcomed a lot of aspiring thinkers, poets, artists, philosophers, a whole bunch of important people. So an environmental rights, labor and women's rights center, obviously. The city also gained reputation, welcoming the gays and the lesbians. Its Castro district was a center for the gays' rights movements. In the 1980s, the city also worked to respond to the challenges of chronic homelessness and the AIDS epidemic, and it just kind of flourished from there, every year with their pride parades and everything of the sort. Now, the Transamerica Pyramid is actually one of my favorites. It's because it's shaped like a pyramid, and then it has a little on the side. Now that is the second building right here. Now this one obviously doesn't make it as much justice. It doesn't have as much detail. It's really cool how they did it though. It's kind of like that. Now here, the way that Lego built it, the way they did it, which I get. It's just, you can pull these down, but that's just how it is, and it's really cool. It is located on 600 Montgomery Street, as if you guys were gonna go visit it. But anyways, it's very nice. It's a very unique building. It's not like a lot of things. The architect was William L. Pereira. I think there's another one. I can't remember the name, but anyways, I think it was Harry you guys can fact check me later. But anyways, it was really nice. Construction did begin in 1969 and it finished in 1972. It was overseen by the San Francisco-based contractor Dinwiddie Construction, which is, I think, a fabulous name. Dinwiddie. Now, I think it's now Hathaway Construction, but I don't know why they changed it, but so later they built the Salesforce Tower, which is this big gray one. In real life, it's all glass, or at least the facade is glass. So I don't know why Lego didn't do it transparent, but who am I to say anything? It's not like I know about Legos, but whatever. It was under construction during, I think it was early, mid 2010s-ish. I know it was completed in 2018. That's when it surpassed this little building right here. It was the tallest, this one was the tallest building up until 2017. 2018, when they opened it, this one became the tallest one in San Francisco. It is designed and by the architects Apelli Clark Pelli architects, and then the developer was Boston Properties. The main contractor obviously was Clark Construction Group. I say obviously, but oh, and Hathaway Dinwiddie, which is the same people who built this, but it was both. But anyways, it was the tallest, or it is the tallest building as of right now in the San Francisco skyline. It is an overall 1,070 feet tall. At this point, I'm sorry. I can't remember what I'm supposed to say, so cheers, bro. Um, so this ugly little brown building is the Bank of America Center Tower in San Francisco. It is the fourth largest one there. Um, I think it's kind of ugly, so I'm not gonna go in detail about it. I just it's the world headquarters apparently for it. You know, it's just really nice to some people apparently. You know, it's just there. Now I think the engineer or the architect who did that was Skidmore, if I'm correct. Who knows? So Alcatraz, which on this beautiful whatchamacallit is like right here, was, or at least the first records of it being established was back in 1775 by the Europeans, the Spanish naval officer. Es que vosotros sabéis que los españoles como trataron a los de San Francisco y de California y todo eso. Entonces, should I speak about it in Spanish? That's something for later on. But anyways, it was that was when it was kind of first chartered back in 1775. In 1850, President Millard Fillmore ordered that Alcatraz Island be set aside specifically as a United States military reservation for military purposes based on the U.S. acquisition of California from La Mexique, so Mexico, following the Mexican-American War. So, following the acquisition of California by the United States as a result of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1850, 40, 1848, I think that's what ended the Mexican-American War. They really started thinking about the U.S. Army, you know, seeing if it was if it was sustainable enough to be positioned as a coastal battery to protect the approaches of the San Francisco Bay. In 1853, though, under the under the direction of Sulas B. Tower and the United States Army Corps of Engineers began fortifying the island. Work that continued until like 1858 or something. Um, then that's when the initial version of the Fort Alcatraz was complete, and because of the way it was situated and the strong currents, you know, it was cold, and you know how isolated the island was from the actual bay. 1861, the fort was the military prison for the Department of the Pacific and housed civil prisoners of war. You know, the POWs. The Civil War era. During that time, rapid changes. That era saw rapid changes in the artillery and fortification of the island during that time. So the Golden Gate is obviously like an iconic structure. It's the city of San Francisco. It connects the actual city to Marin County, which is in the outskirts, like right across the bay. It spans almost 2 miles across the Golden Gate, you know, Strait and stuff. Where the San Francisco Bay opens up to the Pacific Ocean. The dream of connecting San Francisco to its neighbors became a reality when they did start construction in 1933. Since this was in the Great Depression, you know, it became something that, you know, a lot of people were interested in. You know, getting steady wages and everything like that during this time in America's, you know, one of America's greatest, you know, economy disasters, apart from right now because of the virus. But anyways, Joseph Strauss was actually the engineer in charge of everything, that he could build it with like around 25 to 30 million dollars, which at the time was, you know, because of the economy and whatever. You know, I don't know how much that would be in our lifetime, but you know, who cares? It was built, you know. They did face, you know, obviously obstacles in regards to everything. A lot of people kept saying that it would disrupt the shipping and the businesses alike during that area. They argued that it would not be able to handle an earthquake like the one seen in 1906 because, you know, it was just a very, you know, not tectonic, seismic. It was a very seismic area, so you know, they didn't believe it was happening. They thought it was a waste of money. You know, there was other options available, so they can go ahead and do all of that. You know, they went through countless designs to kind of go ahead and change it up, and then they went in favor of a suspension span capable of moving like 2 feet laterally to withstand the strong wind. So, you know, it proved like it was the best method for them to go ahead and do that. Well, anyways, the bridge opened, and you know, it was, you know, a festival. It was just a big celebration that happened. You know, it was open to pedestrians first, so a lot of people crossed that bridge during that time. Well, anyways, the Golden Gate Bridge is a marvel of engineering. It does span like 1.7 miles long, and it's 90 feet wide. It's just a real beaut for the people of San Francisco and really the world. I mean, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh my god. Um, it is the end of the video. That's what I was gonna say. Is the end. We have completed this Lego set. It is beautiful, kind of. It's all right. You know, Dubai was better. Uh, I'm kidding. For anyone that's from San Francisco, amazing city, amazing views and everything like that. You know, little Alcatraz. You know, the Golden Gate, which it's red, maroon or whatever. But hey, y'all want to name it that? Go for it, honey. This tower, which we mentioned, the spiky one, which if you can kind of tell, I have right here. Here, the original, or the more on point version of it, and then this ugly thing. Then you have the lighthouse, downtown buildings, the railroad car that's at the bottom, and you know, the fabulous little houses. I was really wondering, or you know, hoping, or how should I say this? I want to see how they would do that little curvy staircase, you know, this one, and see exactly how it is possible to do something like that. But we have completed it. You know, General Yams has, you know, we'll figure out how to teleport himself to, what is it, Shanghai next. So we'll see you next week with another video, hopefully, if I'm not too lazy to, you know, get another one, because your boy is really suffering this quarantine like the rest of us are, aren't we? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for coming and joining, and you know, we'll see you next time. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or whatever, then deal with it. I'm not gonna answer anything. I'm kidding. Just drop the comment below, subscribe so I can get monetized, because apparently that's a thing. And yeah, if you want Lego to go ahead and sponsor a video, go ahead and leave a comment with adding Lego. I don't know if they have a YouTube channel or an account here, but add them so I can get free stuff and I can build stuff for all of y'all. So thank you, and have a nice day. Bye.